I have short arms. You're on a rolly chair. Jack, you can introduce it.
Oh, wow.
What number is this?
Just guess.
Yeah.
This is 47, right? Yeah, right?
You got it.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to episode number 47 of Beer and Fear, where I don't know if I'm allowed to list anything that we're talking about or drinking.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know. I don't know.
Just introduce yourself.
What?
Just introduce yourself.
Oh, hey, I'm Jack.
My name is Paige.
My name is Zach.
This week we're going to be talking about Kelpies.
This is Paige's pick.
It is my pick.
Can you
It
tell?
sounds like a Paige pick.
It's definitely a Paige pick.
This is definitely a Paige pick.
I thought Kelpies were like tiny sea creatures,
No.
like nematodes.
No.
That's what I first thought Kelpies were, like plankton.
Nematode.
Yeah,
You're
like sea
like-
plankton.
You're like, what's so scary about
You're
those?
a nematode.
What's so scary about a
What's so
nematode?
scary about nematodes? But no,
Everything.
that's not what Kelpies are.
No. Before we get into it, we've got 3 people to talk about their weeks. So guest always goes first.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, my week was shite, man. That's why I'm here, and I'm excited to be with you guys.
We're happy you're here.
Yeah,
I'm
talking
sorry you had
about
a bummy
Kelpies.
week.
It's all right. It wasn't that bummy. In all reality, it was just weird. You know, work was weird. Going home was weird. Naps,
You're just out of it.
weird. Yeah,
You had some weird
Just-
naps?
yeah, man.
Were you had like weird dreams or you just weren't sleeping well?
No, there was a couple where I had like nap dreams, but not when I went to sleep. But other than that, just kind of like sleeping for 5 minutes, and then I'm feeling like I had a 3-hour nap. You know, where you feel like you got hit by a Mack truck.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Never
just
a good time.
a week like that, but like I said, got through it, and on to the weekend. That's the good part.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Excellent.
How about you guys?
My week was good. As good as it can be. I'm trying to be more optimistic about it. Mm-hmm. I've been feeling out of it myself as well. I've just been
that.
kind of like, meh. But I'm not. I mean, I'm going through some personal issues. So
But, I mean, you're making yourself right at home in your new place.
Yes.
Unpacking.
getting there.
Getting all settled.
A few things left to unpack, and I'll be done finally. Then I need to hang out my fucking clothes. That's never gonna happen. I'm just gonna live out of trash bags.
Hang on my fucking clothes.
And then some car things.
Yeah, that's been freaking ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm going to try and change your brakes
He's gonna be a sexy little mechanic.
if I can.
Are you gonna
Brakes and rotors.
Are you gonna roll up your sleeves and stuff?
They're already rolled up. Do you think he's an amateur?
More, so I can see
Up
the
to your
tries.
shoulders.
I
wasn't done.
I wasn't done with my week, Zachary.
have more of my week.
No, you're good to go.
I don't know. I don't have my... oh, that was nice.
Yeah, I just grabbed my fucking script with my toes.
I don't have my phones over there. I can't look at my calendar.
Well, you know what it'll most likely say? Work.
Work. Yeah, I worked. And I feel like we did... Oh, we got breakfast today?
We did get breakfast today. It
That
was
was
very
fun.
delicious.
Where did you guys go?
Juicio.
That's right.
Yeah.
The donut machine wasn't working.
What?
I know.
Have
It's
you
like
been
the
there
ice-
before?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I didn't know they did free donuts.
They do every donut.
Free donuts.
And I was like, Paige, why are they free? And she said, because they're good. Oh, of course.
that makes sense. That adds up perfectly.
My logic is flawless.
But it was delicious. I had a skillet. You had a skillet.
Yes.
And a really good coffee drink.
Oh my
you
god,
had
it was
there,
called
too.
Chunky Monkey. It was like banana and chocolate and like mocha. I don't even know what
Yeah,
coffee.
bunch of
And it was a hot coffee. It wasn't an
banana
iced
stuff.
coffee.
Stop.
It was
Delicious.
so
Yep.
That sounds delectable.
good. It was. And then I got like the same thing in pancakes.
Yeah, like banana pecan pancakes.
Oh, I was gonna say they just turned the drink into pancakes.
Yes, magically.
Hot coffee pancakes.
Actually.
Oh.
Coffee flavored pancakes.
think we're onto something.
No, I'm not too opposed to that. I'm gonna try that.
They got coffee.
I will get back to you.
They got coffee beer. I don't see why they
I'll
can't
get
have
back
coffee
to you
pancakes.
about coffee pancakes. I'll let
Keep
you
me
know.
keep me on the.
We'll copyright it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to talk about our friend Max.
Oh yeah.
We all know Max.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
He listens to the show.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I haven't
Hey,
seen him in
Max.
a while. Yeah, hey Max. We haven't caught up in a while. We haven't hung out in a while. We used to hang out quite frequently when we used to work together. But he listened to the podcast yesterday. I was talking about Ludington nonstop. Mentioned it like a billion times on the show. And he said he asked me if I was describing Peter Pan Land. He's like, were you talking about Peter Pan Land? And I was like, what the hell are you talking about, Max? I don't know what that is. And he's like, it's in Ludington. I was like, I've never heard of that. I've been up there every year.
Oh
in my
wait,
life.
this is a thing. He wasn't just going. Are you describing Neverland?
No, it's a
Okay,
legit place. Yeah, it's
keep
a legit
going.
place in Ludington, apparently. And he showed me on a map, and it's a secret trail that you can go out, and it's a giant cliff, and it overlooks Lake Michigan, and you can just see the entire lake. It's beautiful. And he took his handpan out there, and he's playing.
Damn.
Super cool. And the place I was describing is maybe 500 yards like to the east of it, so we were like pretty close
shit.
in the
Yeah.
same area. And I saved it on my map, so next time I go to Ludington, I'm gonna check out Peter Pan Land.
Do it, dude.
little weird.
And,
I wonder if you'll ever hear Max with his handpan in the distance and your chakras will start vibrating.
Most definitely.
And they
Oh
say
my
he's
God.
there to
Yeah.
this day.
He's still playing his handpan.
He's-
We're going to do it.
So that was really cool. I'll check that out. I'm excited. But that's all I got.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you brought us a nice gift
Oh, yeah.
to celebrate the occasion.
Sake.
Now,
Sock it to me.
explain the connection.
Literally just S with stream. That is it. And we all like sake.
Today's episode is brought to you by the letter S.
So I
It makes sense.
We don't all like sake. I've never tried sake, so I can't tell you if I like
This is
it.
Paige's first time.
Don't tell me what to fucking do.
This is Paige's first time trying sake, and I just happen to have 3 gorgeous little green crystal sake
You're a
glasses.
little green
Your mom
crystal.
made them, right?
She made them by hand. Handcrafted these.
Don't tell
glassware.
lies.
She had these in her kitchen, and she was like, "Do you want these?" So I took them home.
Oh, yeah.
I've got 3 of them.
Thank you. So what do I do? Do I sip it or I?
You can, you sip it. It's not a shot.
Okay.
Wafted onto the
That's so interesting.
Yum.
It smells horrible, but
Oh, it does.
I love the taste. That's so. I love it warm.
It smells like dead flowers.
Jack warmed it in the microwave, and like I've never wanted like an alcoholic beverage warm before, but this is like so pleasant.
Yeah. And this is the stuff to do it with, too, because I went to Binny's and I was asking the guy all sorts of different stuff about sake, which I minutes ago just called it sake. And when you called it sake, I was like, oh my God, I'm uncultured. So I asked him, and he said, actually, the higher shelf stuff, don't heat it up. Only do it with the cheaper stuff.
At a full body tremor, I spilled sake on my boobie.
You're so surprised about how it tasted.
Tit
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah, sake, you can have it warm, you can have it room temp, and you can have it chilled. There's cold sake. Actually, on the back of the bottle, I was reading the back. That's Junmai, Junmai style sake. That's Junmai is best served warm. The only reason I know that is because I read it on the bottle about a half hour ago.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Says
not
excellent.
I'm not cultured at all. It's just I can read.
I can read.
So Junmai sake, you're supposed to have it warmed, and it's delicious. Other types of sake, you have it chilled or at room temp.
Oh, it also says on the rocks or in a cocktail. It's excellent. But,
Yeah.
chilled, it's just good. They didn't say awful. Nowhere on here did they say that shit stinks.
Chilled, it's just okay. Have it these ways, but I mean, if you want to have it, it's gonna taste fine.
It's moderate.
Why does it taste like chocolate chips?
What?
I don't know.
Did you buy chocolate chip sake?
Guys.
It tastes a little
did.
chocolate
Got
chippy.
Yeah, man. Aw.
Isn't it good?
It's good, but I just feel like it's a lot.
It's a perfect thing to just keep on sipping
Yes.
and then just don't stop ever.
And until you black out, because It shit sneaks up on you. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's 15%. Right
Feel it in
around
my nose.
Right about wine. Yeah.
Morehouse, when we did his 21st birthday celebration on Sunday, I brought this whole bottle unopened, and he started pouring it in his beer.
What?
Yeah, I know, which was surprisingly good because we had it with sours. I think it
okay.
was Acid Test. I can't remember the brewery that makes it, but yeah, I can't remember anything about this beer. I apologize, but yeah, he was pouring it in there. Had 3, 4, and then on the 5th one, he was like, "Was that supposed to hit me like a wall?"
He's so cute. I can't.
He was like, "That was way too much." Hey, that's how
I
you
should
found
have
out.
had 4 fewer of those.
Remember that first one that I had? You should have told me to slow down.
Oh my god.
I didn't, because it's your 21st. Why
Absolutely.
would I?
Happy
and you're not
21st.
driving.
Yeah,
so.
happy 21st, other Jack. Mm-hmm. But sake is not the only thing we're drinking, right, Paige?
No,
No.
so we got a beer today from, well, a brewery that we tried recently already. It's from Pipeworks.
Hey, Pipeworks.
We just tried them a couple episodes ago.
All right.
Quick rundown. Established in Chicago in 2012 by friends with a shared dream of crafting quality and creative beers. They're located at West McLean Avenue in Chicago. The beer is called Ride or Chai. It is a brown ale American. It has no score on Beer Advocate. It's got an ABV of 6.5%. The description of it, oat brown ale with milk, sugar, black tea, cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, and star anise. Enter
Yeah, baby.
Ride or
Bruh.
Chai, a perfectly rounded oat brown ale with aromatic spices and tea. This beer is evocative.
It is?
Erotic. This beer is evocative of the flavors of masala chai. Together, all flavors flow together towards the same delicious destiny.
No freaking way.
Never had a beer with erotic humming in the before.
You wouldn't know it. She goes to another school.
A chai tea brown ale.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
Surprise!
Woo! It's incredible.
Yeah, baby.
Now that reminds me. Remember Goose Island? We had their county Bourbon County brand stout. Bourbon County. I had put the words together in the right order. Bourbon County brand stout. They had the tea one. They made a tea one this year. That's what that reminds me of. I haven't tried it, but this is interesting. I am pumped.
Every black tea beer that I've had is fan-fucking-tastic.
I've never had one.
What?
Yeah, it's my first two.
Get ready to get your mind blown.
I'm excited. Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god, I am so excited for this.
Oh, yeah, that's for you to try. Blackberry Grunt from our last one.
You are gonna love that.
I know. Oh god. When I heard you guys say blackberry cobbler stout ale, I was like, in the car, I was like, oh my god! Ah! Sorry for anybody that just fucking blew their headphones out.
So the can has unicorns on it. Or horses,
do.
whatever you want to say.
Well, no, those are unicorns.
Yeah.
They got horns.
But I was thinking ride or chai, like ride or die. And if you ride...
It's perfect, yeah.
That laugh.
That's wonderful.
I don't think it says anything about what you should pair it with.
I am not
This is incredible.
I'm excited. I'm going to crack it open.
I'm not even joking. Ooh. When I read oat brown ale, I read it too fast and I thought it said dat brown ale.
It's dat brown ale.
Oh, it smells like tea.
Oh my god. Get this gum out of my mouth. With milk, sugar, black tea.
It smells like milk.
Ginger, cardamom.
Look at that color.
And star anise. Good god. Oh, they're pouring.
Wow, that foam really does not stick around.
Oh, nice pour.
Yeah, man, you gotta get that cascade.
I'm very curious.
Oh, I can smell the
It smells very heavily of tea.
Yes, it does. And I'm so pumped.
Thank you. Can you see, if you look at, I don't know if you can, there's a light source nearby, but there are things floating in this beer.
Really?
Yeah.
There are floaty things in the beer, everybody.
Is that like tea? Is that actual tea in the beer?
Didn't say.
It could be.
Yeah, there are floaties in this beer.
We ready?
You want to wait on your phone or?
Nah,
Oh, we can wait on your phone.
I eat it.
Okay. Did you want to get a smell?
Oh,
Yeah, get a little whiff.
It smells like a milk stout to me.
A little bit, yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
You better not have just tasted it.
He stirred the foam with his finger and put his finger in his mouth. I know.
Well, because I did the face oil thing.
You're not supposed to taste it.
Okay.
Bad kid.
I was dropped.
Okay, that's unlike anything I've ever tasted before out of a beer.
Very smooth, not very carbonated, and actually no carbonation whatsoever. It's very easy on the palate, but as soon as it gets on the tongue, it is just tea.
Bang. And I like that, just like tea, it doesn't have a ton of aftertaste to it.
It works
It's there and then it's gone.
It works well with the brown ale variety of beer. They both kind of meld together in a good way. Brown ale is very toasty and like weedy and malty. And then the tea just kind of like kicks it up a notch, gives it another, like a different spin.
See, I don't like malt. So the tea in this, I like a lot. I think that's very creative and very delicious, but overall, just like makes me think of an ashtray.
That does?
With the maltiness it does.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I was like, how dare you? But it makes sense. I mean, it's apt.
This is so unique. I dig it.
I could drink a lot of this.
You can have my other can.
I don't want to. I do want to, but this is a gospel that needs to be shared with the masses.
Very interesting.
It's still, it smells stoutish to me, and it still tastes very stoutish. It tastes very close to a stout, but not quite a stout. It's not as malty, not as bitter as a stout, I suppose. Not as thick, like mouthfeel.
Very, very similar to a stout, though.
Yeah, the mouthfeel definitely is more ale-ish, but everything else is pointing to stout.
Very much.
Masterful.
Good pick.
Thank you.
Fantastic pick. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah.
You had foresight on this.
I did.
You knew long ago. What was it, like a month and a half ago? You were like, hey, get ready. I have a giant one coming.
I was like, Jack's going to like this.
Oh my God. Dude, I'm going to go buy this when I'm driving back. You gave me a
telling you.
cobbler sour ale,
You can
too.
have that one.
Huh?
You
Yeah.
can have my extra one.
Yeah, take the fourth one. I think fourth beer should go to the guest. If there's a 4-pack, new rule.
Either that or I was just going to give it to Allison, but I don't think Allison would like this.
Well, I'll take it if you insist.
Go for it.
Oh my God, thank you. Good God.
That sour, though, it's going to blow you away.
It sounded spanking when you guys were describing it, too. I was kind of living vicariously. That's the word, right?
Yes.
Vicariously?
Okay.
Yeah. I was living vicariously through your descriptions. Man,
I
this
was
is a
living
good beer.
vicariously through your
I
description.
know, I've said that before. That's why I always have to clarify. Like, vicariously
Vicarious.
living through your descriptions about this beer.
It's very easy to drink, and even though I'm not like 100% on it because it's so malty, I am still enjoying it. I don't think I could finish it just because the similarity to stout is, something I'm not a huge stout fan. I think stouts are a lot.
Stouts are a lot.
I'm almost done.
I'm glad you guys like it.
Yeah.
We should rate it.
I have about like 2.5 pages and some
Yeah.
photos. Let me pull my photos.
Oh, yeah. Where are the photos going to show up there?
I feel like it would be too hard. I'll turn my laptop around.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just didn't know what the...
The photos will be available on the website on the episodes page. Episode 47. Go on the website. The photos that we look at are all going to be there. It's pretty great. So, a Kelpie, or water Kelpie, is a shape-shifting spirit inhabiting lakes in Scottish... That wasn't Scottish.
That was
folklore.
not Scottish.
I can't... Jack's gonna do accents, because I can't. It's a Celtic legend, however, other depictions exist in other cultures. The etymology of the Scots word Kelpie is uncertain, but it may be derived from the Gaelic kelpa or kelpeach,
God.
meaning heifer or colt. The first recorded use of the term to describe a mythological creature, then spelled Kelpie,
Kelpie.
Kelpie.
Kaelpie, Kelpie,
Kelpie.
appears in the manuscript of an ode by William Collins, composed sometime before 1759, and reproduced in the Transactions of the Royal Society of Edinburgh of 1788.
Oh my god, this is not going to be an accent episode.
According to Derek Gath Whitley, the association with horses may have its roots in horse sacrifices performed in ancient Scandinavia.
Jesus.
Horse sacrifices.
Oh
Aye.
boy. Here we go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Stories of malevolent water spirits served the practical purpose of keeping children away from perilous areas of water and of warning adolescent women to be wary of attractive young strangers.
Whoa.
The stories were also used to enforce moral standards, as they implied that the creatures took retribution for bad behavior carried out on Sundays. I don't know why on Sunday, but...
Do not suck dick on the Lord's Day or the Kelpies will get you.
That's what my mom used to tell me.
The intervention of demons and spirits was probably a way to rationalize the drowning of children and adults who had accidentally fallen into deep, fast-flowing, or turbulent water. Historian and symbologist Charles Milton Smith has hypothesized that the Kelpie myth might originate with the water spouts that can form over the surface of Scottish... Fuck! I'm not even going to try anymore.
I'm just ashamed at this point.
Scottish locks, giving the impression of a living form as they move across the water. The Kelpie is the most common water spirit in Scottish folklore, and the name is attributed to several different forms and narratives recorded throughout the country. Commentators have disagreed over the Kelpie's aquatic habitat. Some folklorists define Kelpies as spirits living beside rivers, as distinguished from the Celtic lakeside dwelling water horse. Two different things. This distinction is not universally applied, however. Some claim that the Kelpie's range may extend to lochs. Macalop's dictionary reconciles a discrepancy, stating that the Kelpie was initially thought to inhabit streams and later any body of water. These discrepancies are said to be due to certain descriptions in tales and folklore being lost in translation.
Does this include puddles?
That's a good question. I'm just imagining like a little Kelpie the size of a seahorse
I
just
didn't-
guarding a puddle.
I didn't
Yeah.
cover the puddle Kelpies in my section.
Bad name.
Puddle Kelpies?
I love that.
Yeah.
Kelpies. So cute.
Continue.
But these tales, folklore, people, they get translated, and then there are different words for Kelpie, and they get translated wrong, and they each mean different things, so that's why people think they do live in water, they don't live in water, some live in puddles, etc. Others associate the term Kelpie with a wide variety of legendary creatures. Counterparts in some regions of Scotland include the Shupalti and Nuggle of Shetland, and the Tangi of Orkney.
Of Orkney.
In other parts of the United Kingdom, they include the Welsh Cefeldwr and the Manx Cabal Ushti.
Oh, you were killing that, actually.
Parallels to the general Germanic Neck and the Scandinavian Backhast have also been observed.
Bless you.
Nick Middleton observes that the Kelpie of Scottish folklore is a direct parallel of the Beckhesten of Scandinavian folklore.
Okay.
Beckelston.
Beckhesten.
That's a chair at IKEA, in case you're wondering.
I just got that the other day.
Yeah, the Beckelston.
The Wiwin of Central America and the Australian Bunyip. I feel like all of these names were just like someone just mashed a keyboard, like a 5-year-old
Yeah.
just mashed a typewriter, and that's what they named
I think
these
someone
things.
was about to say bunions, and then someone went,
Bunyip. It's out of Australia. Are seen as similar creatures in other parts of the world. The Kelpie is usually descripted.
described?
I put depicted and described in the same word.
There you go.
As a powerful and beautiful black horse inhabiting the deep pools of rivers and streams of Scotland, preying on humans it encounters. Again, I thought it was tadpoles. I didn't know
Nah,
it was
dude.
freaking water horses. One of the water kelpie's common identifying characteristics is that its hooves are reversed as compared to those of a normal horse. The creature's nature was described by Walter Gregor, a folklorist and one of the first members of the Folklore Society, as useful, hurtful, or seeking human companionship.
Oh, so it just wants a friend.
Yeah, just jump on its
Just
back
needs a
real
buddy.
quick.
Why can't the water state just
Oh,
have a
Jesus.
friend? What? I think that's apt.
In some cases, Kelpies take their victims into the water, devour them, and throw the entrails to the water's edge.
Ooh.
In its equine form, equine?
I say equine.
Equine?
We'll go with that.
The Kelpie is able to extend the length of its back to carry many riders together into the depths. So it can
Or
kill
is
more than
equine?
one. I don't know.
Do you think it'll happen tonight to us?
Yes. In this.
Don't go walking near puddles. Fun fact, offspring resulting from a mating between a Kelpie and normal horse were impossible to
Mating?
drown. A mating between a Kelpie and a normal horse were impossible to drown, offspring between those two, and could be recognized by their shorter than normal ears, a characteristic shared by the mythical water bull or Tarb Usij in Scottish Gaelic, similar to the Manx Taru Ushti.
You are killing these, man.
I'm blown away right now.
What would you do if Paige was able to perfectly pronounce these like in Welsh, Scandinavian, Scottish, and Gaelic?
I mean, that's what I'm
dialects?
doing.
Yeah,
I'm already doing that. I'm
already-
covering my bases.
What are you talking about?
Never mind.
He's saying, what if I learn from you?
You're right. You're
Oh.
right. Zach, you're right. And I'm sorry.
Thanks. Here's a depiction, artist's rendition of a Kelpie.
I can't see shit. Nice.
Oh my God. I'm going to look at this pretending that I didn't put that on my projector last night and project it onto my wall for 8 hours so I could commit it to memory. Oh my God. The hooves aren't reversed.
And then this is another one, a little more dark and sinister looking.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's in a
That's
swamp.
cool. Looks very fey.
It's in a swamp. You know
Yes.
what else has a swamp that's Scottish?
Donkey from Shrek before his rehab. Kelpies have the ability to transform themselves into non-equine forms and can take on the outward appearance of human figures, in which guise they may betray themselves by the presence of water weeds in their hair. Quick story, Gregor described a Kelpie adopting the guise of a wizened old man, continually muttering to himself while sitting on a bridge stitching a pair of trousers. Believing it to be a Kelpie, a passing local struck it on the head, causing it to revert back to its equine form and scamper back to its lair in a nearby pond.
Not a puddle.
Not a bottle.
Not a bottle.
Next time you see an old man muttering to himself, just strike him on the head.
Make
Okay.
him, hey, does
a
he
Kelpie.
have to be making pants or just muttering?
I think the pants is optional, as long as he's muttering.
Kelpies
and he's
don't
old.
need pants.
Just want to make sure we're not sponsoring
That makes me think
beating
of...
old homeless men.
That's a good point. That makes me think of those posts that it's like, if an animal wore pants, how would they wear them? Yeah. Just like, how would a horse wear pants? On all four legs?
See, these are the important questions that we need to be asking on this podcast.
That's a good question.
Other accounts describe the Kelpie when appearing in human form as a rough, shaggy man who leaps behind a solitary rider, gripping and crushing him, or as tearing apart and devouring humans.
Jeez.
Traditionally, Kelpies in their human form are male. One of the few stories describing the creature in female form is set at Connon House in Ross and Cromarty.
Yeah, I know that place.
Cromarty.
Go there all the time.
It tells of a tall woman dressed in green, with a withered, meager countenance, ever distorted by a malignant scowl, who overpowered and drowned a man and a boy after she jumped out of a stream. The arrival of Christianity in Scotland in the 6th century resulted in some folk stories and beliefs being recorded by scribes, usually Christian monks, instead of being perpetuated by word of mouth. Some accounts state that the Kelpie retains its hooves even in human form, leading to its association with the Christian notion of Satan.
Oh, interesting.
When a Kelpie appeared in its equine persona without any tack, you know what tack is? It's like the horse equipment
Oh, okay.
on the back stuff.
Yeah.
Could be captured using a halter. That's like the straps on their
Yeah.
face. Stamped with the sign of a cross. And its strength could then be harnessed in tasks such as the transportation of heavy millstones. Some Kelpies were said to be equipped with a bridle and sometimes a saddle and appeared invitingly ready to ride, but if mounted, they would run off and drown the riders. If the Kelpie was already wearing a bridle, exorcism might be achieved by removing it. A bridle taken from a Kelpie was endowed with magical properties, and if brandished towards someone, was able to transform that person into a horse or pony.
As we all dream.
I wanted to be a pony when I grew up. Just as with cinematic werewolves, a Kelpie can be killed by being shot with a silver bullet, after which it is seen to consist of nothing more than turf and a soft mass like jellyfish, according to an account published by Spence, just some guy named Spence.
Thanks, Spence.
Sounds like a guy that owns a skateboard shop. Thanks, Spence. You're welcome, dude.
Victorian artist Thomas Millie Dow sketched the Kelpie in 1895 as a melancholy dark-haired maiden balanced on a rock, a common depiction for artists of the period. This is the painting.
Look how melancholy she is.
Or the sketch.
With the parting of the hair, it looks like she wants to murder me. Not melancholy.
Oh, much like the beer, erotic and melancholic.
Other depictions show Kelpies as poolside maidens, as in Draper's 1913 oil on canvas.
What a babe.
Oh, dang. Dang. Those rocks are well done.
Yeah, it's
I mean, she's pretty.
Nice painting, yeah.
Those
But
rocks.
the rocks,
Those
though.
rocks, though.
She's a horse, so.
True.
Folklorist Nicola Bown has suggested that painters such as Millie Dow and Draper deliberately ignored earlier accounts of the Kelpie and reinvented it by altering its sex and nature. And just finishing up, two 100-foot steel sculptures in Falkirk on the Forth and Clyde Canal, named the Kelpies, borrow the name of the mythical creature to associate with the strength and endurance of the horse. Designed by sculptor Andy Scott, they were built as monuments to Scotland's horse-powered industrial heritage, and construction was completed in October 2013, and the sculptures were opened for public access from April 2014. These
things
are
are sick.
Mm.
These are pretty crazy.
I've seen them.
Ginormous.
We've seen them at night.
I have not.
What?
They look neat.
Daytime?
At night. I like them at night.
Yeah. And they do light them up different colors for like different times of the year. So they're crazy. I want to see them in person one day.
We will.
I think that'd be
You
incredible.
have to manifest.
It's my section.
That is amazing. Yeah? You want some stories?
Yeah, lay 'em on me. I got some stories too. Yeah.
So, I'm going to tell this first story that is a little bit more just, it's got a little bit more dialogue in it. Talks about the eroticism of the horse, how it sneaks in and almost seduces their prey, into coming into the water. And then they kill them. All right.
Okay, lay it on me.
So many years ago, a family were farming the land to the north of a thin, long loch. They knew about the beasts of the loch side and were not surprised when one of their cattle gave birth to a huge black calf with red-rimmed nostrils and a fiery temper. Because sometimes the fairy bulls would get amongst the crafters' cows, and their fairy blood was welcome in the herds. So I don't know if that just made them stronger in this story, so they were like, okay,
Fairy
cool.
blood?
Fairy blood, yeah, it's like steroids, but for cattle.
Okay.
But this fairy bull calf, band name,
Very much so.
was wilder than most, bigger, faster growing, and with a rare bad temper. So the crofter locked him in a pen, tried to tame him, but all he did was eat and grow and bellow. Sounds like me. One day, the crofter's daughter was walking along the loch, and she was, as always, wary of the saddled horses. But she wasn't concerned when a young man stepped out in front of her. He was dressed in fine blue clothes, and had long, wild, blonde hair and a very charming smile. "Would you do me a favor, young lady?" You hate this, don't you?
Go on.
I'll do it as Shrek if you keep reacting like that.
Okay, I won't react at all
I
now.
love it. I want more.
Of course, sir. Mrs. Doubtfire. "Would you lend me a comb?" She had a comb in her apron pocket, so she handed it to him, and he began to get the tangles out of his hair. But he was struggling with the hair at the back of his head, and he raised his eyebrows at her and grinned. "Would you mind?" So she sat on the... Would you mind? So she sat on the ground, and he lay his head in her lap, and she began to tease and tug at the knots in his hair. His hair was a little damp, which was odd, as there had been no rain since yesterday. But even odder, Otter. I like those animals. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. There was a waterweed. Stringy lumps of green stems and leaves wound into his hair. That's why it was so hard to comb out. Waterweed and damp hair. The girl's combing fingers slowed. And this wasn't a handsome young man. This must be a beast from the loch.
Must be.
Changed not into a horse, but into a man, to try to trick unwary locals into the waves. Her fingers began to move again, but this time she hummed as she combed, lullabies and love songs until the man dozed off. She untied her apron, leaving his head upon it as she stood up carefully. So she started to run for home. Smart girl. But she heard the roar of rage behind her. Then she heard the sound she had dreaded. Not feet running out after her, but can you guess?
I'm gonna say like a pack of pelicans.
Maybe like chains.
No, that was anticlimactic. Hooves!
Oh no, not hooves!
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 She would never make it all the way back to the croft, not chased by a Wait, that doesn't make sense. Not chased by a four-legged water horse, because that's what she was. She was chased by a four-legged water horse.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Then she realized she was running past the pen of the fairy bowl. She used the comb to flick and latch up, and she kicked the pen open, and she took cover behind the gate as the angry black fairy bull stormed out, right into the path of the white water horse. The bull bellowed, the horse screamed, and they bit and they kicked, and they reared, and the Kelpie forgot all about the girl, who ran home as fast as she could, the noise of the fight fading behind her. As she reached the door of the croft, she looked around. The bull and the horse, a whirling battle of white mane and black horns, had forced each other all the way to the loch side. Suddenly, the hooves slipped and slid, and the beasts vanished beneath the waves, and neither of them have been seen since.
Spooky.
Yeah, but it's probably still wise, even after all these years later, not to let the kids play out of sight on the loch side.
I wouldn't fuck with the loch.
Don't fuck with the loch. Did you like it?
That was very interesting.
I'm
Right?
scared.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not going to comb anyone's hair ever again.
No.
Good idea.
Especially sing them songs.
And I know how much you love doing that.
True. He did it to me last week.
I believe it.
What songs would you sing if you were that girl?
To the Kelpie?
Yeah.
Anything from the Tarzan soundtrack.
It's a piece of pretty cake.
That is why we're friends.
If the way is hazy, gotta do the crooked by the book. Let's sing that song.
Fantastic. So yeah, don't let your kids play by the loch. It's just not cool.
It's not a good idea.
It's, as the kids say, not good vibes, bro.
Oh, okay, that is what the kids say.
It is not lit to let your kids.
Not
lit, fam.
Oh,
No.
boy. Wow.
Paige wants to leave.
I just want to excuse myself.
So the next story that we have has to do a little bit more, because I thought it was interesting. I didn't get as far as I did as far as talking about the stuff getting stuck in his hair, they were talking about, that's the way you can tell that it was a Kelpie.
Right.
This one has to do with something else that you were talking about as far as them being tamed. So I think this was interesting. So this one is about St. Vigian's Kelpie. The folklore of the Kelpie tells one way that this water spirit can be tamed, and this is by capturing its bridle, if you are brave enough to get so close. It is believed that if a person is capable of handling Kelpie's bridle, then the spirit has no choice but to submit to its master. It is believed that in the 18th century that the Church of St. Vigian's was built by stones that had been carried by a water Kelpie who had been tamed and put to labor. Residents of the town also believed that the structure was supported by two large iron bars that held it above a loch underneath the 40-foot mound that the church sat upon. It was in this loch that they believed that the water Kelpie resided. On escaping its labors, the Kelpie is said to have harbored resentment resentment against its captors and placed a curse upon the building. For a long time, between 1699 and 1736, so whole 37 years, the actual parish refused to give the Lord's Supper through the fear of the curse. And the curse, it was said, would lead the church to crumble, with the congregation inside into the lock below.
That's spooky.
Yeah. So people from 1699 to 1736 seriously believed that this water horse was going to drag them and their praying asses into the water.
I wonder if there's still people today who are afraid of their lives.
Of Kelpies?
Yeah.
I bet you.
Who live near locks.
I'm kind of scared.
I mean, after hearing your stories.
Yeah. And I don't live by a lock, but I mean.
You live by a couple puddles, probably.
Probably. And I mean, that's just scary.
I mean, if one just walked up to me and, offered me to comb its hair and I said sure, and then I started combing its hair like I would normally, and I saw some seaweed stuff, and then I was like, whoa, this is weird, and then I sang a lullaby and I started walking away, and then all of a sudden it turned into a horse and started charging at me, I'd probably be pretty scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
It's valid. It's a valid complaint.
Yeah, true.
There are Kelpies who steal children, but also Kelpies who steal husbands and wives.
What?
Or fishermen, or masons to help build their chimneys. There are Kelpies who transform into handsome young men, but also Kelpies who become old women.
Why do the men have to be handsome?
I don't know why.
Yeah. Would you say the old women would be hags, per se?
I would say they'd be hags.
Hags.
A common Scottish folklore tale is that of the Kelpie and the 10 children. Having lured 9 children onto its back, it chases after the 10th. The child strokes its nose and his finger becomes stuck fast. He manages to cut off his finger and escapes. The other 9 children are dragged into the water and never seen again.
9?
It stroked its nose, and then its finger got stuck, in its nose.
Oh no!
Damn it. Oh, that's a sticky buggy!
That's a sticky boogie. Oh no. However, there are some stories of Kelpies helping.
A helpful Kelpie.
A helpful Kelpie. Even though they are usually considered evil, there is a story from the Isle of Barra in the Outer Hebrides. There was a lonely Kelpie that was looking for love and so shapeshifted into a handsome man to help win the heart of a woman who he wanted to take as his wife. He was recognized as a Kelpie, and she removed his necklace, his bridle, in human form, while he slept, causing him to revert to his original horse form. She then takes him to her father's farm, where he is forced to work for over a year before taking him to see a wise man who tells her to give him the necklace back. Now, back as the human she first met, the old man asks him if he'd rather be a Kelpie or stay as a mortal. He turns and asks the woman who essentially enslaved him if she'd be his wife if he stayed a man, to which he said yes, and they got married.
Aww.
Oh, that's
I
kind of
don't know
hot.
if I'd want to be married to somebody who enslaved me.
Well, it's like the Kelpie version of Shrek.
Exactly.
I guess.
If the princess enslaved Shrek.
True.
Or the other way around. I don't know.
The full story for the children is a group of children were playing on the water's edge at Loch Ness. As the water began to ripple and foam nearby, they glanced over to see a beautiful black horse trotting over to them from the water. Excited to see such a beautiful horse, the children stroked and circled it. Getting on its back, the children attempted to ride their new friend. However, one child remained on the ground next to the horse. He looked up and reached to the creature's neck to stroke him. As he did so, his hand became stuck to the horse's neck. Becoming terrified, the boy tried with all his strength to remove his hand from the horse's neck, but he was completely stuck. As the horse started to pull him with the children on its back into the loch, the boy decided that he must cut his hand off to escape. In doing so, the horse returned to the water, taking the children on its back with it. In freeing himself, the boy ran to seek help, sorting out his severed hand and trying to get to the other children. Waiting at the water's edge for days, the boy was determined to find any signs of his friends. However, the children were never seen again.
Damn.
Couple questions.
Yeah.
One, how did this boy sever his hand?
He just sawed it with his other hand.
You know, they say if you try hard enough, you can actually bite your fingers off.
That takes a lot of just mental willpower.
Well, your brain stops yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm saying he's, the adrenaline of being attacked by a water horse, he just full-handed is.
Biting your entire hand off.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, even if, like, he had a knife, that's like, there's bone there. 2, you said there's 10 kids? Mm-hmm. What kind of kid is walking around with 9 other friends? How do you have 9 friends?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
just
like a
because you had a
whole-ass
lonely
birthday party.
childhood.
I don't have 9 friends at once ever.
I don't know, kids travel in packs.
Of 10?
Yeah, sure.
That's a whole quaffle of children.
Yeah.
That's a birthday party, Kelpie style.
Yeah, it's like that's what it reminded me of. It's like they went to Chuck E. Cheese and then afterwards they just went down to a lock nearby and
Yeah, man.
saw Kelpie.
They had too much pizza. They had to walk it off by the lock.
Good times.
Good times by the lock.
Just hanging out with a horse.
I think the freaky part to me, I know it wasn't in any of those stories, but I remember it was in the Wikipedia things. It has a thing for like leaving people's entrails. Places. Just like, I'll take all of this except the large and small intestine.
Those will stay here.
I don't want that shit.
There's also a thing that says that I know you said silver bullet, but because they're technically considered fairies or fae, iron
Really?
is supposed to be
Oh.
something that can harm them.
Just iron in any form?
Like an iron ingot?
Yes.
Well, maybe that's maybe something else that got lost in translation, where it's like iron, silver bullet. Maybe it was just iron. Yeah.
Maybe. What did you think of the beer?
Fantastic pick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I kind of had a feeling when you said that to me that it was going to be fucking fantastic. And the more I drink it, the more I like it. The mouthfeel, like you said, is along more of that ale feel, but it's got the taste of a stout, Which, I don't know, maybe I grew attached to that ashtray kind of taste. Because honestly, I get it. I think that's somewhat apt, but it's not the most focused thing in the taste
Sure.
for me. How did you like the beer, Paige?
For it being, you okay?
I didn't. Okay.
I didn't think of the beer. I'm trying to put into words what I'm thinking. How do I describe this? For it being the first time I've ever had beer mixed with tea, I'm not disappointed. But I think that overall the flavor, I can't keep sipping it. Like I can't keep drinking it because it just becomes too much. It's not a flavor that I'm like constantly like, I want more of this. And that's again how I feel about stouts. And that's again, this gives me the stout feels.
Sure.
So it's harder for me to be like, yeah, let me finish this whole thing. It's as I say about everything that's like a stout is a lot. What about you, Zachary?
Soda doesn't seem to like the smell very much. But
How's the mouth feel, Casoda?
oat brown ale with milk, sugar, black tea, cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, and star anise. I could not tell you what cardamom and star anise taste
I
like.
thought star anise was a flower.
I think
it's a
cardamom is
spice.
another spice that's supposed to be used in sweets because I made some mango muffins last week and it called for that, but I couldn't.
There's
find
like
it.
cardamom pods.
Yeah.
That's how you would buy it at the store, I think. And then star anise is another type of spice. Ginger, sure.
I feel like ginger is more of like a balancing taste. You can't really taste it.
With the cinnamon kind of eludes me a little bit, but definitely brown ale, milk, sugar, and black tea. Like putting all those three together, that's exactly what this tastes like. I still got floaties here. There's a lot at the bottom. I don't know if that's like actual tea. I don't know. but it's
Maybe it's the spices.
it's the star anise. It's interesting. It's unique. It's different. I enjoy it, but I see where you're coming from. There's other beers that I could keep sipping. I could have multiple cans of, or bottles of, or glasses of.
I'm not upset that I tried it.
Yes.
I'm glad that I
Oh,
finally
yeah.
experienced tea mixed with beer. I imagine that, if I try like a green tea beer, I'll probably like that a little bit differently.
Oh yeah, you were saying stuff about those too. I would like to try one of those.
There was one that I particularly liked. I think it was from this place in Kenosha. It was just a black tea brew. And it wasn't as stouty. It was a little bit more straight black tea, and it was good to sip with really any meal that you could be having. It's definitely something you want to have while you're eating because it's kind of plain. But it's pretty good. I really like the label, honestly, was the thing that caught my attention. I was like,
It's usually what
black
does
tea
it.
beer.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, this is something that I could keep going on for days. I think that's where I differ. But
Wow.
I think it's just a matter of taste.
Yeah, personal preference.
Hell yeah.
It's a good pick though for the episode.
Fantastic.
Good tie-in, and I'm glad I got to try finally a tea beer. Unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties we had during the episode, a video version of this podcast will not be available. We will try to do better going forward.
We'll try to figure it out.
Hopefully the audio version doesn't have too many hiccups in it. Hopefully, pretty straightforward. But beerandfearcast.com is our website where you can listen to all of our episodes. First, every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time. We're still available on all popular podcast platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. Check out our YouTube. We have the video versions of our podcast, like, the audio with there's smoke now. It's cool.
Oh!
But yeah, and then all the pictures that we talked about in the show too will be available on that episode page on our website. Check it out. Good stuff.
Yeah, laser
Beerandfearcast@gmail.com.
Oh yeah, the email. Send us an email, beerandfearcast@gmail.com, or our contact form on our About page on our website, beerandfearcast.com/about. And then you can fill out your message.
Have a good day. What an episode.
Oh boy. That was a wild ride.
Indeed.
Like riding on the back of a Kelpie.